Hello everyone, I hope you are very well. My name is Sofia and this is my first video and I will be sharing my experience with reading, different genres, plots, authors and everything related to the world of reading. And as you saw of the beginning of the video, we will be talk about the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. It's a book. It's a book that really grabs you and keeps you in each of these page. But what do you think if we start to discover this plot and for that came with brainstorming? And so let's get started. Well, first of all, we these posters to build or brainstorming. First of all, we the name of the book, which is the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. Come on. Well, first, the author of this wonderful book is Arthur Conan Doyle, and he wrote in 1894. The book was acclaimed and hated by his public at the same time. I'm going to read the synopsis so that you can see what it is about more or less. Of course, you are a fan of Sherlock Holmes, you will already know. Synopsis. In 1894, Arthur Conan Doyle decided to assassinate Sherlock Holmes, the most famous detective of all time. The overwhelming success of the novels and short stories published by the Strand magazine did not allow him to focus on his historical novels. Thus, he wrote The Final Problem, which closes this volume with the intention of concluding these narratives. Readers did not forgive him, and Doyle was forced to resurrect his already immortal character. The 12 stories collected in this volume form a diptych with the adventures of Sherlock Holmes and contain many of the best moments of the so-called Holmesian canon. We must remember that reading is a police story. Will put is in cases where we have no idea what will happen. We will not even be a little close, but for that is Sherlock, of course, Sherlock Holmes. In this story, the famous Dr. Watson could not be missing, who is the inseparable friend of Detective Sherlock Holmes. Is the new adventures, Sherlock will face his greatest enemy, Professor Moriarty. The story is set in England and another parts of Europe. To be the first work I read about Holmes. I am impressed and I'm not disappointed. And it is incredible the power that the authors gives you to feel of the story and the detail that he puts in each case, one so different from the another. In the story, the Dr. Watson is the one who begins by telling use the story he is living and but as we are moments, and he becomes the voice of Sherlock Holmes himself, although there are times when the voice returns to Dr. Watson. Well, let's use that remember the story take places in the same year. It was great writing, and Sherlock Holmes with his very formal and in writing, always mysterious. There are minor envelopes in each of his deductions. I think the biggest reason to read the book is to know how Holmes' battle against Professor Moriarty happens and how he ends with Sherlock Holmes. The readings seems understandable to me. Obviously, there are vocabulary that I don't use, I don't fully, but because the situation in which you are reading, it's easy to understand. Well, to conclude, I must say that I love it. The book, excuse me, my horrendous routing, love. You had to hook it on the atmosphere of the story, and you want to continue until you know where it ends. All this atmosphere of the mystery, uh, mystery is very satisfactory to me, since the author is always challenging you to draw your own conclusion, although you never wait for the outcome that he is going to take. It's a book. It's a good book that I highly recommend reading. Especially if you are a fan of detective Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson, Professor Moriarty, and what else? Also, to people who love the mysterious environment, I recommended them, as well as, for example, if you like works like, for example, setback, or maybe rants. Maybe the word of runs. I know you will. I love it. Well, if you want to get the book digitally, I invite you to do it. I read it so and found in free editorial. Or if you prefer to head in physical, is also great. I think is the most recommended. Its cost is $25, and the publisher is Madre Editorial. And $25 is 500 pesos. You can get it in department stores such as, for example, Sambors. That will be all. I hope you are encouraged to read the book. And also, I want to comment that the illustrations of the book are great. and you will be leaving them some photos. Nothing. Thanks a lot and goodbye.